So, if I'm being completely honest, when it was back to school night for the first time or family night, I was completely terrified. You see, I became a teacher because I relate really well to kids, but talking to adults is not my strong point. Well, if you're wondering what families are thinking of you and you hope that you're making a good first impression during back to school night, trust me, I can relate to this. This is exactly what I was thinking during that first back to school night or meet the teacher night. But over the years, I discovered ways to make back to school night run flawlessly and make an amazing first impression with families. So much so that I've actually gotten compliments from families about my meet the teacher night, and I've had my principals share that they heard how big of a night my how big of a hit my back to school night have been. So here's the big question. Are you ready for back to school night or are you missing anything? Well, today we're going to take a quiz to find out. Plus, I'm going to give you some actions at the end if you didn't score very well on this quiz. So with that being said, let's get started. So I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, I loved to do these magazines where you could take quizzes about your favorite personality, how related to an artist you were, what your favorite lip gloss says about you, or what your favorite dessert says about you. Well, today we're going to be taking a similar quiz, and it's pretty simple. You're going to either answer yes or no, and you're going to keep tally of how many yeses you have, and at the end, I'm going to share what your results mean about you. So this is, again, all about Meet the Teacher Night. So with that being said, let's dive in. First question, have you created a clear plan for what families will experience during back to school night from start to finish? Do you have a schedule on what it should look like? What are families doing when they first come in? What are you doing in the middle? What are you doing at the end? Is it self-led? Are you gonna do like one whole presentation? What does it look like? Think flow, timing, and how you'll keep things organized. These are all important things. So answer yes or no. The second question I have for you, do you have a visual representation or display that highlights key classroom information in a way that's easy to understand? Do you have slides or handouts or posters or brochures, some or a symbol handout that you can give families that highlight the key points so they can refer back to it after family night in case they have questions? Do you have this created to give them on family night? Yes or no? The third thing, have you practiced or outlined what you're going to say, including how you'll introduce yourself and explain your classroom systems? Things like what get to know you, fun facts about you, how to contact you, what is your homework policy, what is your late work policy. All of these things are things you want to keep in mind, and have you created an outline on what order you're going to be talking about these things and what you're going to say during those different pieces. Fourth question. Do you have a plan for communicating classroom expectations, procedures, and how families can support their child's success? Do you have a way to articulate, here are the expectations in class, here's what's going to happen if your student isn't following those expectations, and here's where I need your support? Do you have that outlined somehow, some way during your family night? And do you have a copy, again, you can give to them so they know what the expectations are? Fifth question, have you set up your classroom environment to be inviting and reflective of your teaching style and values? Now, when I ask this question, I do not mean Pinterest perfect at all, just functional and welcoming. Have you created your classroom with the flow in mind and that will minimize disruptive behavior from happening? And do you have it set up in a way that is going to aid in your teaching style and who you are and what you value as a teacher? Sixth question, have you included opportunities for families to ask questions, leave feedback, or connect with you one-to-one? Do you have somewhere that they can reach out if they have questions to you? Do you have it somewhere in your outline, a place for them to raise their hands and ask you questions or to come up to you and ask questions? What do they do if they have questions after family night and they need to get a hold of you? What hours can they reach you at? Where can they reach you at? And how soon can they expect a response back from you? Next thing. Have you prepared a simple way to collect family contact info and communicate how you'll stay in touch throughout the year? Have you figured out what their preferences are on how they like to communicate, where they want to communicate with you, what hours you can reach them at, and how they can stay in contact and reach out to you at the same time throughout the year? Is it a handout? Is it something if they fill out? What does that look like? Next one. Do you have a plan for managing your nerves, like a checklist, script, or systems to help you feel grounded and confident? It's so easy when you do these family nights to feel nervous, but do you have something or a way for you to feel rest assured, calm, and confident that you are exactly where you need to be and everything is set up and everything is going smoothly and you're going to have a fantastic night? Next one, have you created a takeaway, physical or digital, that families can bring home with key info and your contact details? We kind of talked about this earlier, but not do you have a physical or digital way for them to refer back to after you give the presentation for them to take and refer back to later? And the last question, do you have a system for following up with families who couldn't attend, like a replay of your presentation, a summary email, or a handout? And as a bonus question, I am giving you a bonus question. Have you come up with a way to follow up with families on what you enjoyed talking about during Meet the Teacher Night? Do you have a way to build that strong relationship with them and thank them for their time during family night and getting to know you? And do you have a way to individualize each one so you can talk about something specific you liked learning about that student or their student? So that wraps up the 10 questions we have, and plus a bonus question to prepare for Meet the Teacher Night. So, how do you think you did? Do you think you did well? Do you think you have things to work on? Well, I'm going to share the results here, so let's dive in. So remember, each yes was a point. So take some time to gather up how many you got correct and said yes to, and let's dive into the results. So first thing, if you scored 0 to 4 points, that means you're almost ready. You've got the heart and passion, but your prep needs structure. Don't stress because I got you covered. You have, some of the basics, but you could use a little more help. I recommend you check out Classroom Kickstart if you scored 0 to 4. Classroom Kickstart is my program that walks you through step-by-step everything you need to confidently welcome families, manage your classroom, and start the year strong. We have a whole section dedicated to family communication and Meet the Teacher Night, so make sure to go check that out if you decide that's for you. If you scored 5 to 7 as points or yeses, then you're getting there. You've done a lot of the heavy lifting, but there are a few details missing that could take your back to school night from good to amazing. If this is where you scored, I highly recommend that you check out the Classroom Setup Bundle. So this is to help fill in the gaps with ready-to-use templates. You have most of the strategy, but you could use some help with some fine refinements and some tweaking. So things like classroom labels, presentation slides for Meet the Teacher Night, and other grab-and-go resources that'll help you feel polished, prepped, and confident for Meet the Teacher Night. If you scored 8 to 10 points, then yes, you're ready to wow. You've got this. Your preparation shows and families are going to feel confident and excited after meeting you. Maybe just double check those small details and you'll be golden. If you want a quick polish, make sure to go refer to those Classroom Setup Bundle I recommended earlier for the last point system, just to make sure you have everything. And maybe you want some ideas, definitely go check that out if you're missing 1 or 2 things and you just want to make sure that you have everything set up ready to go. Or make sure to check out the other resources on this channel. I have a ton of resources on Meet the Teacher Night, so make sure to refer back to any other past week's content, so you can refer back to it to help you out. That wraps up the quiz. How did you do? Let me know in the comments. If you want to learn more about the classroom setup process, I have a couple of resources for you. First thing, I highly recommend you check out wherever you're tuning in from. Please subscribe, or I would love if you could leave a review so more content like this can reach more teachers who need it. Second thing, Make sure to tune into past week's content. I go into depth on more topics about Meet the Teacher Night and back to school in general, so make sure to go check those out. I have a ton of resources, like I said, referring to other week's content on back to school. Third thing, if you want more free tips on back to school, I highly recommend you check out the Classroom Setup Guide. This is my ultimate guide for new and first year teachers that walks through the top 10 most commonly asked questions I get in regards to setting up your classroom and back to school and getting ready for that first week of school, and how you can feel confidently prepared. I answer the top 10 questions in a free guide, and then I link to additional blog posts, podcasts, and YouTube videos, so you don't have to sift through necessarily all my content because I have over 140 weeks worth of content now. You can just click and get a further explanation to what I provide in the guide, so you have all the resources in one spot. So make sure to check that out. As always, remember, we are stronger together, and I'll see you in the next one, teacher bestie. Bye!